Yes, it's Kim. I don't know if it's live, if I'm on good Wi-Fi. Okay. I think it's good. I think I'm on. One never knows these days with everyone up on our hill. We're in our house in Oregon, and a lot of people are using the bandwidth of our already not great Wi-Fi. So anyway, hey, just wanted to come with a few thoughts today. And it's Thursday, the 7th or something, or 8th. I don't know. It's early May. Sorry. Hey, Jody. Um, uh, anyway, I wanted to just talk about finding meaning. A book that I've read a few times is Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, and it has impacted me. In fact, I've thought of it several times in the last few weeks. So um, that's what I wanted to talk about, and how my search for meaning, how that book impacted me in many ways to shift my entire consciousness to meaning finding. I want to be a meaning finder, um, and also a meaning decider, because I talk about in my book our interpretations of whatever is happening, whatever assumptions that are in the background of what your current mindset is, your current behaviors are, your current uh, attitudes, philosophies. All of those are impacted by the interpretations you make. Like, for example, if my husband comes in the door after being gone all day, and I go, hi, honey, how was your day? And he grunts like a "Meh." Well, I this is where interpretation, mindset, philosophies, backdrops, meanings come into play. Where the rubber meets the road is, how will I interpret that response from him? Will I think, without investigation, many times we will automatically assume something's wrong with us, or he's mad at us, or we're not good enough, or we're not worthy enough, or we're not perfect and he's upset because the house isn't clean, or dinner's not on the table, or all kinds of made up stuff that we made up based on our wounds, our little wounded child inside of us that I talk about in my book as well. But if we interpret that in a way to find meaning in it, and if that was the reason, if he is upset because of something about me, then that leads me to a whole other category of choice of, well, that's like choose your own adventure. At that point, you just investigate and then deal with it, investigate and deal with it, and hopefully deal with it from a healthier mindset and a healthier heart set, from a truth that you are worthy and perfect, and unconditionally loved and acceptable. That's another topic. My search for meaning is, if in that example, let me finish that example. If he comes in and does that, I could assume those things and find the meaning that my wiring has already programmed. Or with the higher level brain now that we can investigate it, and we've learned now that not to believe our thoughts and not to believe the pre-programmed fear package that we came wired with or grew up with. So I could investigate and say, oh, what's up? What's happening? What's wrong? And not assume anything. And not that happens in every relationship, in every minute of every day. In fact, reading posts on Facebook, you're going to assume somebody is one of those people, and you're going to act as if that's true, and then the battle starts. So just pay attention. This is what I do. This is what I've really worked hard on myself with, and I'm also working a lot in the work I do, is helping people rise above the actual muck and the mire of the specific content and move up to a contextual, a construct, the framing, the interpretation, the meaning of everything that's happening, not the actual thing that's happening. What meaning can I find? What meaning that's actually based on a truer perspective, from a truer, higher level consciousness of love, peace, things that I want to exhibit in my life, and things that I want to bring to the world. So, if even as things as, like, one of the things I teach in my program is life happens for me. There are no accidents. Think about this for a minute. There are no accidents. Are no accidents. Process that. Like, can you? It probably I know it rubs a lot of people wrong initially. Like, are you telling me that this is for, no, that everything is for my highest and best? What? That can't, and life happens for me, not to me. That summarizes my find the meaning in everything, because everything has a higher meaning and a higher purpose if we are willing to look and search for the meaning, as Viktor Frankl did in the middle of a concentration camp where everyone was dying, unjust, horrible conditions, cruelty beyond comprehension. And what he discovered is those who found meaning, not those that were physically stronger, by the way. It wasn't correlated to who was stronger, who didn't have physical ailments. It was correlated to who had this wiring that they chose. It doesn't come natural for any of us. It's a decision to move to a place of finding meaning. And in the concentration camps, a huge piece of what they did was serve. And the people that served the others, the people who stopped staying in the muck and the mire of blame, anger, resentment. Hang on, I got to wipe my nose. I got to find meaning in allergies. That's true story right now. And I'm looking hard. But the meaning that they chose to find, those people were the ones who survived. And in these days, we cannot even begin to comprehend, most of us anyway, if you're in downtown New York City and are dealing in the throes of huge amounts of pain and suffering, find meaning, shift. Or those of us who are just binge watching Netflix and having food delivered and, we're minorly inconvenienced somewhere in that scale, both parts, both of those, and everywhere in between, just find meaning. Shift to deciding to find meaning in everything. What is the meaning? My hair salon's not open, so my hair is wacko. Luckily, I have a hairstyle that can handle it. Jody, I saw your post about your hair the other day. Maybe you guys are open, but where I'm at in Oregon, it's not open. Please open. Be like the lady in Texas. No, anyway. But find meaning in everything. Because if you start looking for the meaning, if you start looking for how is this my highest and best? How is this for me? How is this happening for me and not to me? How if I really believe that there are no accidents, how is this not an accident? And I don't mean to cast blame on all the other stuff. Like, how is this impacting me? In fact, a quote I thought of the other day, I didn't know how to word it right, but it's something like, I thought of this, like, I don't want there to be a cure for COVID until COVID cures me. The purpose of all of this, and the meaning I'm finding, is because I needed it. I needed this. This is for my highest and best. How is this for your highest and best? Anyway, these are the meanings I'm thinking of. So shifting to finding meaning. That's been my goal, my desire. Thanks, Jody. You're awesome. I love your lives as well, and what you're doing in the world. So let's raise the consciousness. Let's change the conversations that we're having. If you're ready to, if you want to, let's not waste this pandemic. I love that. That's absolutely true. This is a gift. This is a gift. If we can find the meaning for ourselves, and you will get what you look for. So if you're out looking for blame, if you're out looking for, get into fights, contention, anger, all of those things, your brain, let me go back to the brain wiring, the brain will automatically just keep giving you, confirmation bias is another way to say it. I call them mental bloodhounds in my book. You've given the brain the truth, the message that this is what matters to me. This is what's important to me. This is from your emotions. Your emotion gave your brain that message. So it will automatically look for those things. It's the meaning it's looking for. It doesn't question you. It doesn't have a higher level component to it that says, but wait, is that really serving you? But wait, is that really the message? Is that what you want to be known for in the world? Is how right you were and how angry you were and how much you fought with people? Or do you want to be known for? Your mental bloodhounds aren't going to ask that question. They're just going to say, your wish is my command. And they'll keep keeping you in these cycles where you can be right, but you won't sleep and you're going to get your immune system diminished and you're going to get headaches and you're going to get more and more worked up the more times you talk about it. So decide to search for a meaning for your life of how this is your highest and best and how this is not an accident for you specifically in your specific situation with all the horribleness that's happening in your world, just like Viktor Frankl, relative to him in that world. How can we find meaning? And how can that change our entire existence? And in his case, it saved his life. That's exactly his point of his book, is the people who survived physically were the people who emotionally, spiritually, mentally found a meaning above and beyond the ground level muck and the mire. Love you. Thanks for being on.